Hi everybody, welcome to my debut today. I hope you're watching Bill, Wolf Driver, with the Huskies right now. I hope you can all hear me. Please give me a shout if you can hear me. Let me check the sound here. I think it's working. Let me just check. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. So, this is Barbara Kurtman again, and I'm from Animal Secrets, and I'm an animal communicator, and I hope you were just watching Bill out on the range with all his beautiful huskies. So, hi Kimmy Stevens, hi Betsy Hiffner, and I wanted to tell you, hi Kimmy again. So, perfect, great. So, I wanted to say that if I don't see, sometimes I don't see all the news feeds that come through, I'll definitely write all of you afterwards. So, just so you know. So, I'm from Animal Secrets. I'm on Wolf Driver's channel. I'm happy to be here. And, yeah, I hope you're watching Bill. He was out on the rain with his huskies, and he cut it, like, so close into the show. It was cute, though. It was really awesome. I wanted to mention that on my last show, I mentioned that I would choose a person who is, hi Prasad Patham, Wanakul, I can't say your name, wow. Hello Joshua, I'm doing great, how are you today? So, yeah, so what I was going to say is that I hope that I mentioned on the last show that I would give out readings as a prize, but I didn't see who. I looked under everybody to see whether you were inviting other people who were supposed to say that they came from you. So here's what I'm going to do. Next Thursday, I'm going to give somebody a longer reading, like 30 minutes, probably an hour. Whoever brings the most people. Oh, sorry to hear that, Joshua. So what you need to do is invite as many people as possible to the show. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they have to post beneath you, and the person who brings the most people next Thursday, I'll give a reading to, and probably 2 people. So, I'm always looking at my notes to see what I'm going to say, so, So, I was going to tell you that today we're talking about, hi Jessica, today we're talking about a heart-wrenching story, like always, but how the power of love healed a friend of mine's dog. And I really want to share it with you because the power of love is so powerful and how much it heals. But first I'm going to start off and tell you that I'm an animal communicator. I was saying that last time. What does that mean for you? And so I see myself helping you understand your furry friends better, and I hope you connect with your furry friends and help you develop all our innate ability, which is your innate ability, all our innate ability. We all have this ability to communicate with our furry friends. And I help you understand your furry friends better, how to communicate and how to connect to them. And why your dog is maybe nervous around others, why your dog is biting or scratching, and much more. And it just depends a lot on the situation, you know, what's going on. So, and I was going to say, I'm inviting you all to a complimentary webinar, but you have to sign up. It's a little bit different than the show. The show I teach you a lot, but on the complimentary webinar, you can practice keying into your pets and developing your intuition. So it's on Saturday the 20th. It's at it's at 1 p.m. Whoops, I wrote the wrong time here. It's 1 p.m. and I'm noticing on my notes I wrote the wrong time on the 1 page. See? So I wanted to give you the page that you can, I don't know if you could see it, but I'll write to all of you. So that's where you can sign up for the webinar. I hope you can see it. It looks backwards in here. But I'll post it again. It's animalsecrets.wix.com, Animal Secrets. And what you'll learn is your pets have the secrets you need to know. Hi, Makala Knives. I'm sorry if I don't say your names correctly. And thank you for all those smiley faces. I guess it looks like a few mean ones coming through. I don't know. Hi, Kimmy. Just took a screenshot. Okay. And so I will share with you the true story of how, well, I've already said that once about my cat Lydia that had a near-death experience, the secret of animal telepathy, how to get out of your own way. Hi, Soterios. How to reconnect with your furry friends, how to alleviate your furry friends' problems, how to know when you need to stop the noise, how to receive messages from them at will and within 10 minutes time, practice connecting with other people's furry friends, and send and receive information telepathically. So that's what I'm doing. It's a complimentary webinar, yeah? So it's free. Okay. But I won't be able to do all of that in 40 minutes that I had planned, but that's the basics of my webinar. So like I said, there's a few things I want to talk about today, which is the power of love and how love is a healer and how love heals. And it's a very teary-eyed story, what I'm telling you today again, but it's very precious, and I have two real-life stories, actually three that I want to tell you. So let's see if I get through. Otherwise, you'll have to come back on Tuesday where I tell the rest. Might be a little suspenseful. So, and I also, if I get into it, I want to talk more about animal communication and it being everybody's innate ability. And I'll see if I can answer your question. So I hope some of you know what an animal communicator is. Let me know if some of you know what an animal communicator is, or if any of you have ever had an animal communicator talk to your pets, or if you have ever gone to any classes to speak with an animal communicator. Give me a shout out here and let me know if you've ever been to a class, if you've ever gone to an animal communicator, and yeah, and share, okay? Because my passion is to help people understand their furry friends better so that we live, I mean, yeah, I guess you'd call it a psychic. It's more like tapping into your innate ability, which is your telepathic ability, which is all your senses, and feeling into hearing, seeing, whatever your ability is to connect, to hear the messages or see the messages of your pets. And that's what it's all about. And when you connect and you really know what they're trying to tell you, then you understand them better. It's like a lot of people say, well, I don't know what they're trying to tell me. But it's connecting, it's hearing inside yourself, hearing their messages, feeling their messages, seeing their messages, trying to understand why they do certain things or why they feel a certain way. And I'll get into that in other shows about how they reflect us, how they're majorly a reflection of who we are. And it's really, like I was going to say, it's really my passion, and I'd love to reach 1 million people to make people understand that our furry friends are here to heal us. And that's why I'm going to share this story today, because it means a lot to me that the more people that understand pets better, the more they'll understand why our pets are here to heal us and show us who we are. So when I'll get into the reflections in other shows, I got so much to tell you guys. So make sure you come again, bring your friends, and I've got those prizes that I told you. So, yeah, and like I said, if I don't say hello to you, it's because I didn't see your post. Yeah, but I will definitely connect with you afterwards. I always write everybody afterwards. I connect with everybody and invite you to other shows and thank you. And tell me where you're from as well and if there's anything that you want to know. So, and sometimes the newsfeed doesn't move at all, it seems like to me, and sometimes it moves really fast. Okay, so let us talk about the power of love and how love is the healer and the main healer in my eyes. And how love can turn a really sick dog that is supposed to be put down or any other animal and heal them back to health. So, does it always work? Personally, I believe it can work all the time. And I'm not saying that you don't love your pets, okay? I'm not saying that at all. But I personally feel, and it's a matter of really releasing a lot of emotional turmoil, But tell me where Motown is, Joshua, because I don't know where Motown is exactly, unless that's the same. I love that you always come on the calls, Joshua. It's so great. So I mentioned once, so if we have a lot of havoc, if we have a lot of emotional turmoil, our pets take that on, yeah? And I'm reading my notes here. So I mentioned a bit about my husky the other day. Oh, okay, Detroit, Michigan. Okay. So I mentioned the other day that, my husky passed away because of the powerful thoughts, feelings, emotions, words, and behaviors that came out, yeah? Because of all that we emanated. And, because my ex kept saying that, and he never wanted our husky to leave, but that all those feelings go out into the universe. And so what our dog was hearing, okay, you want to give me away. And that creates that your pet then isn't here anymore. Hi, Betsy again. I'm from Indiana. I have 2 Goldens. Duke is 9 and Rosebud is almost 3. Oh, Golden Retrievers are beautiful dogs. Beautiful. Hi, Lori. Nice to have you. So I was going to get into the power of words and how powerful the power of love. And I believe it's the strongest power that ever existed. Because when we totally love ourselves, and really just emanate love. Hi, Mary. When we emanate love and we really love ourselves, we're putting out this entire high vibrating energy. And the more love we feel for ourselves, we get inspired, we're happy, we're in the flow, we're excited, people are excited, people want to be with us, people want to be around us. And our pets are healthier then because we're in the flow of love. But when we're stuck in emotional turmoil and we have all this stress, our pets reflect this and can get sick, yeah? So can love, like I said before, can love heal a pet back to health? Yes, it absolutely can, because I've experienced it a bunch of times, and if I get to it, I will tell it. So I've had it happen to me with many of my pets, but where I had to calm down and release all my emotional turmoil. And it's like putting a bright light around you. It's like love is the feeling of actually knowing, and actually it's the kind of, like I said, putting a bright light around you. And it's impossible to be sick when you're feeling all this love and when you're in love. So we feel like everything is going our way. We feel like everything is easy and works out. And there's a book that was out there. This one lady wrote this book, like, Everything is Easy. I live on Easy Street. And everything just flows to us. And it's just really high vibrating energy. And that's really important because when we're in love, our pets are healthier. And I'm telling it because it's going into my story of how love healed my friend's dog. So her dog's name was Budweiser. And he was an abused dog. And I have to hold myself back from crying again. Because I can't ever imagine anybody ever abusing a dog or any animal. And it breaks my heart every time that I see things like that. So Budweiser was a friend of my friend's Becky. Was my friend Becky. And she felt like when she first met Budweiser that she was with an angel. This is a true story. And how love healed her dog. He was a German Shepherd Chow Mix, and he was originally owned by a cousin of my friend's next door neighbor, who had severely abused him. When my friend's neighbor showed her a picture of the dog, she took one look into his expressive eyes, and she knew he was hers. She knew she had to have him. But there were 3 challenges that she was going through. And the first, she definitely couldn't afford the dog. And the second, she was moving from her place into the country with a huge yard, to the city with no yard. And she also had to steal the dog. But I ask all of you, if you know of a dog being abused, wouldn't you steal it? My friend Joseph Falcone, who's also on this site, check him out. He's a dog trainer, and he stole a dog that was being abused, a pit bull, because a lot of people think pit bulls are bad, but that's not true at all. I always say it's the owner, and he stole the dog from being put in fights, and I helped him through doing reading to get some money up so that he could pay the vet's cost. And so he stole the dog that was being abused. That's how he is. And I would do it too. I've never done it before, but I would do it. But I supported him all the way, yeah? I mean, for, helping him get money up. So back to Budweiser. However, the challenges were not important to my friend Becky. And this dog and her were very connected and on a path of destiny. And they really needed to be together. And she needed to save this dog that was so abused. And he needed to get out of there or he would have died. He was on the verge of death. So like I said, for the life of me, I can't imagine anybody abusing a dog. I just can't understand it. When she told the story, I cried. And every time I read the story, because I put it in a book of mine that I wrote, that's called Animal Secrets, that I kind of still haven't published yet, but I get it re-edited. I will definitely have it up for you guys to read, if you're interested. You can always shoot me a line at Total Life Transformation. And so every time I had read this story, it just broke my heart. So my friend, after 2 weeks of debating whether or not to take Budweiser, my friend made a decision to love this dog that had been abused so badly and to rescue him from his harsh life. And that was that. Once the decision was made, everything started happening, taking drastic measures to ensure that the dog would be cared for. Her neighbor's son stole the dog, while the cousin who abused him were out. Can you imagine? It's his own cousin, and he didn't like what they were doing, and he was the cousin, and he stole the dog, and he couldn't tell them. Can you imagine that? I mean, if it was my cousin that was abusing a dog, oh my God, I would have a fit. I would definitely steal the dog from my cousin. No doubt, I tell you. If it was a brother or I don't care. I would steal the dog, and I'd probably never talk to them again. I'm just being honest. That's just me. I don't tolerate abuse for animals. There's no way. They're my heart and my soul and everything. No. That's why I really love doing these shows, because I want people to understand animals better, because they talk all the time. And if people understood them, they wouldn't abuse them. So, and they're here to heal us. And they're here for a purpose, for a beautiful purpose. They're here actually for us. So, what I was saying about Budweiser, the abuse couldn't be tolerated any longer, and they all knew that the horrific situation for the dog was unbearable. So stealing was wrong, maybe, but it seemed the lesser of two evils. I wonder what you guys think about that. Would you guys have stole the dog, knowing that the dog was abused? And this dog was abused badly. I'm curious what you guys would do. Would you steal the dog? So just to let you know a few things that happened to Budweiser. Budweiser was abused. They didn't give him any food and made him eat his feces. They basically kept pulling his neck and had him chained up so that they did give him a little food. When they gave him food, they kind of choked his neck every time. Thanks, Kimmy. You would do it too. Thank you. Love you for that. And it's disgusting, making him eat his own feces. And I think they whipped him, if I remember properly. And they had him so chained that he was always choked when he went to the food. So he was scared. But he never got the food because they had him chained. They let him eat his own feces. That's disgusting. This is a true story, I swear to God. So, as I said, her cousin stole the dog. And he had to, because they were abusing and killing this dog. And it must have been awful to see his own cousin abusing the dog. But, so the first step, once this dog was stolen, toward Budweiser's miraculous healing, was she had to get him to a veterinarian. Thank you, Betsy, for saying that you would also steal the dog. So, she brought him to a veterinarian, which my friend did immediately because he was sick and an abused dog. I mean, if he only ate his feces, of course he was sick. So the vet advised her to put the dog down. And she was told that he had hookworms. I get the goosebumps. I swear to God, this is just going through me again every time I tell it. and he was 50 pounds underweight due to subsisting on a diet of his own feces. So love was at work here. So despite the advice of the professional veterinarian, my friend refused to put Budweiser down, and she actually said he was going to live on her love alone. She said, "You do your job, and I'll do mine. He will live on love alone. I will tell you, I will bring this dog back to health." And I'm getting really emotional, as you see. And the vet was like, "Whoa!" And the vet informed her. She informed the vet. She told the vet. She said, "You do your job." And he had no choice but to do whatever he had to do for the dog, which wasn't much. Sorry. I think some veterinarians are really good, but I understand them. They're coming from a medicine point of view. But I mean, I've told it once. I had a medically dead cat, and they couldn't do any more either. And she lived 10 more years through changing my attitude. So I know that it works. I know that we can heal through the power of love. So, because I've healed my rabbit. If I get to it, I'll tell you it today, if not another time. So she said either you help me save this dog, or she would find another veterinarian. He chose wisely, giving her medication for Budweiser and sending them both on their way alive. He even showed a great deal of faith by telling her he wanted to see the dog in 1 month to reevaluate the situation. Thanks, Kimmy. My friend's love for Budweiser would overcome the obstacles and challenges that lay ahead for both of them. One of those challenges was to move, which was to happen in 1 week's time. And since she had him, she began to gain his trust by teaching. Oh yeah, and then she had to teach him to walk on a leash. He didn't want to be on a leash. So Budweiser was so abused being hit by a leash that he was petrified of leashes. I'm sorry. Just so emotional here. They did so many abusive things to Budweiser that he was really scared of the leash. The poor dog. Like you say, today I still cry about it. I remember it like today, pretty much how she told me the story of her and Budweiser, and it breaks my heart, as you see. You know, just a side note of the reasons I love being on the show is that I can bring awareness, and maybe one day together, you and us at this channel can bring more love and happiness to all pets in the world that deserve it and deserve a better life. And so that's why I teach this, yeah? So the more aware people become, the less they will abuse animals. So about Budweiser, previously he had been chained up on a choke collar for his entire life and didn't know how to walk freely. So using a nylon harness and leash that she mentally made into an extension of her body and energy, she lovingly encouraged Budweiser to trust her and enjoy some freedom. Within their own pack, dogs bond by walking together. Budweiser had a new powerful pack leader, and he was happy, which was her, yeah? Prior to walking him, my friend, she would have a soft conversation with Budweiser and saying, "I promise you that I will only use this leash for walking. And as soon as we get home, I promise you the leash will come off." She always kept her promise, and he learned to trust that she was not entrapping him by freeing him with his leash. So whenever she finally got home, she would immediately take the leash off. And he trusted her. He believed her, yeah? Her next challenge was to tackle his nourishment. He was afraid to eat because he had been beaten and abused, and that was associated with food. So he didn't want to eat because each time he wanted to eat, he would be abused. They didn't let him eat. So telling the story right now, like as you see, it breaks my heart and I'm even crumbling to pieces. But the power of love healed Budweiser, yeah? Back to health. And so again, her attempt gently to communicate with this beautiful dog, my friend began to sing a song for the food. So while she was eating a piece of cheese, she gently sang to him, "It's just like singing a song. I know you're hungry. Please, please eat with me." And then the most awesome thing happened. In only about 5 minutes, he started to eat. Listening to the sound of his meal, she gently cooed, which is to utter or imitate the soft murmuring sound characteristics of Dove. Budweiser, that was the most beautiful music. And when he ate, she said, Budweiser, this is the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Play that music again. And that's how she would get him to eat. She would do that all the time. She goes, please make the music and conduct that orchestra loudly. He wagged his tail. And she was speaking the universal language he understood. Can you all imagine how smart this dog was? I mean, dogs are so smart. From that point on, whenever she wanted him to eat, she would ask him to make music for her. Of course, she would say to him every time while he was eating that it was the most beautiful music to her ears, and to conduct that orchestra again, and to play it loudly again and again. I always say that my kitten, when he purrs, I say it, that he has the most beautiful music I ever heard. And I used to say to my other cat, Lydia, that I had to finally put down, I always said her purring, because purring is healing. I always said, your purring is the most beautiful music in this world. You know, I love hearing it. And all the music in the world, none of it is as beautiful as that. I used to always say that, and I say that to my kitten now, because I love it. I love when they purr. So back to Budweiser. Budweiser would start eating only when she asked him to make music for her. Every 2 or 3 hours he would make music, because she had to feed him every few hours, you know, to get him back to his weight. So and then love was healing Budweiser. It was her love that was healing Budweiser. So she was like conducting the orchestra. I wish there were more laws for pets. So hard to help them unless you do something like steal them. Someday it will be better if people like us keep... Exactly. That's why these shows are really important. When all of us come together, and the more of us come together, and the more of us are aware, the more we can do healing, Kimmy. The more we can heal the world, the more we can have these laws, the more we can save animals and get them out of shelters. That's why it's so important that we all come together. It's really important. And thank you for saying that, Kimmy. So Budweiser was saying, conduct that orchestra. She was like, conduct that orchestra again. Budweiser was so smart. He knew how sick he was and that he should only eat small meals often. Together, my friend and this dog were learning to trust and comprehend what the other was communicating, and love was working. Each day they grew closer and closer and got really good at communicating with one another. Thanks, Gibbs, for saying that. He grew stronger and started to gain weight. She loved this dog so much, and to show him her love, he was allowed to sleep in her bed. I mean, I would have allowed that anyway. That's me. Anyway, they became best friends and helped each other. That was a good thing, because after about 3 weeks, my friend would need Budweiser's help. And on one January, she was taking him for a daily walk, and she slipped on some ice, landing on her tailbone. And it was a hard fall. She fell really hard, and she was on the ground crying. And with pain, she realized she would not be able to stand. And Budweiser came to her rescue. She gently said to him, I apologize for this, but I need you to stand very still. And I'm going to have to put my entire weight on your body so I can get up. Budweiser looked into her eyes, showing his agreement. He knew what he had to do. She looked again at him with apologetic, teary-filled eyes, and then put her hands on his back and pulled herself up. He stood like a rock for the person who had loved him back to life. And I read this because that makes me tell the story exactly as it is. So the two of them grew closer and closer, and my friend got to know him better and better. And one evening as they were walking around dusk, she noticed his shadow had cast, and he reacted to this very strangely. He tucked his tail under as if afraid of his shadow. She said, Budweiser, you have no reason to be afraid of your shadow. You are a beautiful, big, beautiful dog, and you should never be afraid. Walk like you are proud. With her words, she sent the energy of healing and love again, like no one can imagine how much she loved this dog. You guys have no idea how much she loved this dog. I have to I get very emotional. Budweiser responded magnificently, and suddenly his tail came up with pride. She was very proud of him, and he knew it. And she took Budweiser back to the vet a month later. I'm at the end of the show, but I have to finish this. And she knew and was confident that she had miraculously healed Budweiser through her incredible love for him. And he was very strong and a proud dog, and the vet was astounded that Budweiser had gained over 30 pounds. It was apparent that a conventional medicine could not have produced the same results as the love my friend used like a miracle potion. The vet was so amazed because he wanted to put Budweiser down, because Budweiser had eaten his feces, and honestly, there was really no hope for him. And he wanted to put him down, and he was supposed to die. But there was really no way Budweiser should have lived in our right minds, not at all. But the power of love healed him. And through my friend's love, and that's what's so special. So I really wanted to tell it today because Budweiser, and I'll tell you more about him on Tuesday, but the power of love healed him, as you say. So the more we love our animals and the more we really, really know, like even if a vet tells you, and I'm going to tell you all this now, okay, and nothing against vets, yeah, because I go to them too, yeah, they have their place, and I'm all for conventional medicine. But let me tell you honestly, and I'll tell the story on Tuesday about my rabbit, how I healed her back to health. Let me tell you, if you're told that your dog is going to be put down, you take another look and you talk to your dog. And you feel into your dog. And that's what I want to teach on my webinar. But definitely come to the show. But the webinar is where I can really help you get really connected with your pets, where you can do it yourself and you can see the transition. And let me tell you, if the vet tells you that, you take another look and you think to yourself, think again. Because there's a possibility, you see in Budweiser's case, and I healed my cat back to health, where she was medically dead. And I healed my rabbit, and I'll be telling that story on Tuesday. And I wanted to combine it with Budweiser, and I'll tell the rest of some of Budweiser's story and the reflection. And I tell you, think again, and seriously, you love your pets, and you see if there's a chance, and you see if your love alone can heal your pets, because it's always a chance. I say there's always a chance until the last breath. I believe in that because I've been there many times, and my pet's healed, and so there's always a chance until the end, really. Until the last breath, there's always a chance, and I know there is. And I believe that you always got to try as much as possible. So I want to invite you all to my webinar again. We're up to 33 minutes, and I'm supposed to get off because I'm supposed to be here 30 minutes. But I'm so passionate about what I do that I could talk forever and never stop. So it's tough to get me off, so I'm sorry. But I will get off. Sign up for my webinar if you want. That's it. animalsecrets.wix.com/animalsecrets. It's on August 20th, a Saturday at 1 p.m. Yeah. And definitely come to my show on Tuesday and next Thursday. And please invite your friends, because next Thursday I am going to give away a prize. So the more people you invite, the more people that I know that come from you, they have to say they came from you, then I will give one person who brings the most people a reading. And I'll probably do that every week or every 2 weeks. So bring your friends, because I got a lot more true stories to tell and a lot more to teach. And if you want to practice on connecting with your pets, come to my complimentary webinar. And you can always get a hold of me at animalsecrets1958@cello.at. And these videos are always recorded. Hear my other colleagues. Listen to Bill about his huskies. He's so lovely. I want to thank Bill again Wolf Driver site, that I get to be here. I'm so grateful and so thankful. And Budweiser's story touches my heart to the core, and I hope it touched yours. And share with your friends, because the power of love is a healer. So share my video, because I believe a lot of people have a chance that their pets will live, and how the power of love can heal a pet that's going to be put down. And you see he healed. So I'm up to 35 minutes, so I have to get off. I don't want to, but I have to. So thank you for being here. I love all of you. Come again and bring your friends. See you soon. See you on Tuesday. And I'll say hello, and you can always come over to my page and always talk to me, okay? See you for now. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. See you.